What is going on YouTube? Hannah back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. I know this is not our normal setup. My apologies in advance because I'm having a plumber work in my basement on some leaking pipes. I know that's a problem, but the problem now is that my recording studio is downstairs and he's making a lot of noise, which is not his fault. So in temporary, only for today, I'll be recording from my, I guess, plan B, which is my laptop and my USB plug-and-play microphone. So hopefully this comes out good. It's only going to be for today, only temporary, but it still will get the point across, which is the retracement is happening. The retracement is happening. Otherwise, guys, that's what we're going to be talking about: Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Zcash, and then we will wrap things up, with the coin market cap, of course. Otherwise, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. We're doing a giveaway at 10,000 subscribers, which is right around the corner as we just broke 9,600, or we're about to break 9,600. Otherwise, let's jump right into today's episode. So as you guys can see, we're on the current coin market cap and everything is bloody red. You can see Bitcoin dominance 56%, slowly increasing from yesterday. 24-hour volume has skyrocketed. We are at like 84 billion and now we're at 105 billion. Market cap is 267.5 billion. So we're seeing a ton of volume, which doesn't mean we're going up. It can mean that we're retracing. And you can see with this lower market cap, it is a clear indication that the markets are pulling back. You can see out of the top 10 cryptos, they're all in red, and I do want to discuss my trade yesterday with Ethereum because I know some of you guys may actually be thinking about that. Oh, well, he bought in, he saw the breakout, and he was just talking about that, so what did he do with the money? I'll discuss that in a second. So out of the top 10 cryptocurrencies right now, you can see that we are retracing quite low, and we're going to discuss how low that may be when the next buying opportunity is, because that is right around the corner, and you don't want to miss out on that. But Bitcoin is now below 9K at 8,400. We know that there is a $9,000 resistance level. Litecoin at 111, down 5%, still in the number 6 spot, very close to beating EOS, down by around 400 million. Otherwise, the markets are all red, and that is not necessarily a good thing. Otherwise, moving on to Litecoin's chart. So we did just recently see a retracement, and it was quite a sporadic one at best. You can also tell we are pretty high up on the RSI, still trading at 65, much better than the 70 on the overbought line. But with a lot of this consolidation and sideways trading right near this resistance at 117, it was almost an indicator that a retracement was going to happen. We also saw that on Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum's chart. They were all literally neck and neck on that RSI line. So it was a clear indication that there was going to be some sort of trouble. And I will discuss in a second the Ethereum charts. Now, as you guys can see, we did take quite a bit of a stumble. We broke up to 120 and then quickly fell all the way down to $100, which is where a small support is. But we are getting very close to seeing a retracement back down to our ascending wedge. Now, what I want to point out is a previous move that we had, which was this, and then we saw sideways trading and then pulled back down. So this could easily happen again. So just reenacting this, a pullback like this, we trade back up, then we fall down lower. These are very, very, very similar and could be foreshadowing what's going to happen within Litecoin and Bitcoin. And as we know, this is about a month of retracement, so I don't want to scare anybody from investing back into cryptocurrency. I just want you guys to be aware that there is potential for retracement to pull back, and it is going to open up some pretty big opportunities to invest right back in, because as you can see, we did see a major move up from the $65 all the way to 117. So that is something to be paying attention to, because I do think this retracement is going to happen. Now, I am starting to get into contact with eToro. From all you who don't know, eToro is a way to virtually trade on the cryptocurrency markets with zero risk. It's a virtual trading simulator for cryptocurrency, which means we can test out our skills. Now, the awesome thing about eToro is we have a virtual and a real simulator, or a virtual and real portfolio, so we can test out our moves before we actually invest with real money. Now, I thought as a way moving forward, to not confuse anybody, I put $1,000, or I was partnered with eToro, so I put $1,000 into eToro, which is awesome, and you can see we have 1,000 right here of my money into this account. Now, what I'm going to be doing is actually reenacting real trades with eToro. Now, these are just mine. Obviously there is going to be times when the retracement happens and I end up losing money, but it will be mine, as well as trying to figure out ways to make that money back as it trades higher up. So I have 1,000 in my account right now. When I see the next buying opportunity for cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency, I'll be buying with my real money, my real portfolio, and then we can start playing around with it. Now you can see real numbers. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, the $100,000 in the virtual trading simulator, it's not realistic. I mean, we weren't necessarily trading with 100,000. We just had $100,000 of money that we could play around with. So now we have 1,000. We're going to play around with $1,000, and we're going to see what exactly happens. This may be more realistic to beginner traders to start off with something small like that. So that's a perk that will be linked in the description down below. Otherwise, this retracement is going to happen. I've been posting a crap ton on Patreon as well, and I do want to now shimmy over to Bitcoin and Ethereum's chart discussing the trade I made with Ethereum, and then we'll continue with the rest of these cryptos. So you can see on Bitcoin, we're starting to see a pullback to the upside, which is interesting. So with Litecoin, we're starting to see a retracement, but we're starting to consolidate back up. We're still very close to being overbought, but you can see we're not near our ascending wedge right now. But with Bitcoin and Ethereum, you'll notice there's a couple of things happening. So with Bitcoin, we pulled all the way back down to our bottom support, which could necessarily be a good buying opportunity. It's kind of a little scary because we're seeing the market near overbought. So if you want to play conservative, this would be a price to stay away from. But the way Bitcoin's chart is showing is that there is possibility and potential for movement back to the upside, because we saw a beautiful retracement downwards and we could start to see a move back up. So for those of you who haven't sold off on Ethereum and who continue to hold, who didn't put a stop loss, this is a good opportunity that we're going to continue higher, and you could, break even and sell out and then move on from there. Otherwise, we did see a breakout to the upside. You could see right here we had the sideways trading, and I said once we broke with confirmation of 280, we could make some money with a stop loss back down at 270, where that resistance support line was. So you can see we did manage to break up. 280 was our buy-in price. We went up to around 288, which was still nice, but I did set my stop loss at 270, and that did go off, and I sold it all. So I took a very, very, very small loss of my 10% of my portfolio that I put in, which equates to like $100. So it's really not that big of a loss in terms of my trading. We've made tons of profitable trades prior, so this isn't really that bad. But otherwise, moving on, you can see we're starting to head back up. Now with Bitcoin, we tested the bottom of our uptrend right here. This is the bottom, and now we look like we're heading back up higher, which indicates that we could see Ethereum and Litecoin move up higher as well with it, because that is the big daddy of cryptocurrencies. The thing to pay attention to is Ethereum fell below its ascending wedge, or ascending triangle. So you can see it's now using this as a resistance, which is interesting. It did fall a little bit lower than Bitcoin did, but we could potentially see either resistance here with more retracement lower. I apologize for that. Or we could see it break back above this ascending triangle, and we could get right back in it and then start to head higher. It's definitely a possibility. You'll notice we're not overbought yet. So we've seen it move all the way up to 86, which gives us plenty of potential to move up even higher, all the way to 86 again. So there is still room for Ethereum to move up higher. And again, if it does break 280, I might buy back in, and we could ride this puppy right back up. But we still need confirmation. We still need this movement up, but that is still a possibility within the cryptocurrencies. Otherwise, guys, if you haven't yet checked out my Patreon, I highly recommend doing so. That is the only place you guys can get exclusive access to my live updating charts. And as we know, cryptocurrency is crazy. It's a crazy volatile market, and YouTube is a delayed platform. It takes whiles for it to edit, upload, and post the videos. So with Patreon, it's a way for those people who are really interested in crypto and who really want to learn to be able to get access to these charts that I have exclusively on Patreon, so that you don't have to worry about following my videos as much. You'll be able to get this access to my charts every time I draw a line. Bam, you'll see it on your end, and you guys can see every single time I make a different line, a different quote. There's also a huge community on Patreon, so you guys will be able to interact with the other cryptocurrency hodlers and beginner traders to really understand other price movements and actions, buying opportunities, sell-offs. It's a great community, and you'll get instant access to that. That's really the takeaway, is that you get instant access unlike YouTube, which is a delayed platform. So I highly recommend checking it out. I believe it's the first link in the description. But you can see we're starting to head back up on Ethereum, which could potentially take us much higher. We're just seeing a resistance right now with this ascending triangle, but it gives me confirmation with Bitcoin, the fact that we're above it. So Bitcoin is obviously stronger than Ethereum, so we could necessarily start to head up a little bit more. Lastly, to cover Zcash, and then we'll look at Litecoin one more time. Zcash is really not affected at all. We did see that crazy retracement yesterday where we shot all the way up and then pulled right back down, but we're still headed back up. We're currently at 59 on the RSI, gives us plenty of potential to move higher. You could see we were trapped in this channel right here with resistance up here, which we broke through. So honestly, it looks like Zcash is going to head right back up to here. So this could be definitely a nice play if you guys were interested in taking advantage of that. I know I might be buying into that. I'd have to find it on the exchange. I believe it's Binance, but it does look very, very, very nice. For those of you that are out in New York State, you could use Bittrex. But it's definitely a coin that I'm keeping on my radar because we are undervalued, and I do believe we're going to pull back up higher. So lastly, with Litecoin, I do think this retracement is real. I think Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin may see a small move to the upside. We may go back and retest 120 on Litecoin very soon. Same thing with Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I think, is going to retest 9K potentially before it sees a major retracement. And same thing with Ethereum, a potential retest of 280 before the retracement happens, where we pull quite a bit down. But all the markets are very close to being overbought. There's still room to be traded in the overbought market, still potential to grow in there, but a big retracement will follow right after we retest those higher numbers. So definitely keep an open eye out. We may see a very big spike downwards. You can see just as quickly as we pulled back down yesterday, we're starting to move back up, which is nice to see. But otherwise, guys, that's going to sum up today's episode. I highly recommend you check out Patreon. Thank you to all who are supporting me on there. Otherwise, giveaway at 10K. I have a bunch of goodies. It's either going to be a Ledger Nano X, Bitcoin liquid assets drink, or free Litecoin. You let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.